She served under 15 prime ministers. I don't mean under. She served with 15 prime ministers. The first one was the great Winston Churchill, who mentored her, and that's pretty clear from various historical accounts. Now we come all the way down, 70 years later, Woody Johnson, and Liz Truss is the new prime minister. I am told that the Queen was able to say, to designate her as prime minister before she passed away, which is a wonderful thing. I knew Liz Truss because she was the trade minister when I was working in the White House, and we were talking about a U.S.-Britain free trade agreement after the Brexit vote. It never came about. But what do you think of Liz Truss? I think, I'll just add, she seems like she's kind of a supply-sider, kind of a Thatcherite, and kind of a free trader. But you tell me, what did you see when you knew Truss in various capacities in London?
First of all, congratulations to Liz Truss. She's the third female prime minister, and as important, she got to speak to the Queen for that moment, which I think is so significant. Remember, when you, for the Queen's life, the Queen met millions of people, and the Queen, although she had a photographic memory, probably doesn't remember all million, but they all remember her. And every moment that they spent with her, and I talked to a lot of people, a lot of her people in government, and they cherished the moment, the hour that they could spend with her once a year to talk about the military or anything else. So she was an extraordinary person to have that feeling that she had to do this, but having somewhat modesty about her. Liz Truss is going to be, I think, terrific. I worked with her when I was over there. I saw a lot of her, particularly in trade, as you mentioned. We tried to get a U.S.-UK free trade agreement, which would have been absolutely terrific, and we just ran out of time, unfortunately. But she's been in so many parts of the government and done well in each one of them, done really well. So, but she has a hard task, Larry.
Yes.
She has a very hard task, and so it's going to take incredible cooperation of her party and people outside her party to get these things through.
So, Woody, interestingly, the headline from this morning, it's probably midday in London, her first action, she's ending, this is amidst this energy crisis in Britain and the rest of Europe and the dependency on Russia. So she apparently is ending the national ban on fracking. Now, that's one heck of a solid thing to do. By the way, I'd like to see our president end the national ban on fracking. But that's a very bold first action, Woody Johnson.
It's bold but necessary. We Americans, when we turn the switch on in our house or our factory, we expect something to happen. And the only way you can be sure something's happened, you have to have many different ways to solve the energy problem, depending on what's going on in the world, and energy and petroleum and gas and coal and, atomic and all that. And they eliminated a lot of those options. And you see all of Europe did it and going in a direction that wasn't doable. And now they don't have the options. And that always creates problems. I think America, we're positioned really well, fortunately. And that's where Liz wants to go. I think she wants to go to make sure that the economy can boom, and it can only boom if it has energy. And so you have to solve the problem, as I said, many different ways.
Let 1,000 flowers bloom, all the above. That's the mistake that Europe is making. That's the mistake that Biden is making. We've got to turn the spigot back on. Look at, Woody, you know me. I'm a supply sider. I love tax cuts. The other thing that Liz Truss is talking about is cutting the payroll tax. Put more cash in their pockets, provide new work incentives, just what the doctor ordered.
It all makes sense. The Green New Deal never made sense to me because it took a half point. If I've got 3 points of growth and I take half point for Brexit and I take half a point of growth for the Green New Deal, I'm down to 2 points if I'm lucky. So I think you've got to transition in these things and take a view that I want everybody employed. And if I lower taxes, I'm going to get more employment and higher jobs. And the thing you've been talking about for years. So it just makes sense to do it. It really does. Even though in the short term it may cost you a little money, you got to get the engine rolling, get a free trade agreement with the U.S., and we're going to be on our way.
Yes, sir. Woody Johnson, former ambassador to Britain, you are a prince for helping us today. And I guess...
You're great, Larry, and thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for doing this.
My great pleasure.
Thank you.
Talk